All right, guys, we are going to say fuck the 3D in this laws lesson because you guys need to understand that 3D reality doesn't mean shit because you created it. Now, in my lives for the last probably 3 years, I have been mentioning fuck the 3D, fuck the 3D. It's my catch cry. Now, the reason I keep saying that is because I swear a lot, but also I want you to think, fuck that out here. It doesn't matter. I've got to believe it before I see it. And whatever I'm seeing doesn't matter because I created it. Now, those of you who don't understand what I mean by I created it, you've got to understand that your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are creating a reality. Reality creation is all coming from you, as within your mind, so without in the 3D reality. Therefore, if something shows up in your 3D reality that you do not prefer, that is unfavorable, that is upsetting you, that has hurt you, that makes you feel rejected, that makes you feel alone, that makes you feel not wanted, that makes you feel fat, poor, dejected, unapproved, whatever it is that's happened. Maybe you've been turned down for a loan. Maybe you didn't get into the university you wanted. Maybe your specific person's found someone else. Maybe you broke up. Maybe you've gone no contact. Maybe they're hurting you. Maybe they're abusive. Maybe they're breaking up with you or not prioritizing you. Maybe your family are treating you a certain way. Your friends don't get along with you, or you got blocked by somebody or ghosted. Whatever it is, you've got to understand that you once thought something that set that in motion. Now it has occurred. You can't blame the other person or get upset with them or rail against the 3D as if it's something to get upset with, because you are the one who actually caused it to happen. Now, those of you who are new to me will think I'm blaming you, especially if I just go back to what I said and say abusing you or hurting you. You'll think I didn't cause my own abuse, laws. What kind of person would cause their own abuse? Guys, there's such a thing as an abuse cycle. And if you ask any good psychologist, they'll tell you that people get in abuse cycles all the time. And it's a cycle they can't get out of. Now, I remember one time being in my house in England and hearing someone getting abused in the street at like 6 a.m. And I opened up my window and I yelled out, and there was this guy bashing this girl up in the street on the other side of the road. And I screamed out the window, I've called the cops, get your hands off her. I was screaming from like 6 stories up. And she was like, oh, thank you. Half an hour later, I could hear him bashing her up again inside the house. Nothing I could do. This girl was in an abuse cycle. I couldn't even figure out which house it was. Now, what must that girl's self-concept have been that she allowed that guy back in the house to abuse her again? Now, I'm not saying it's her fault, but I'm saying it's causation. And you've got to understand that if you want to understand how this works. And even something as horrible as that person needs to assess what it is they think about themselves that's causing them to bring that kind of person who would treat them that badly into their reality and continue to keep them there. And I know that's a really hard pill to swallow. You think, oh my God, I don't want someone to continue to ghost me or block me or break up with me or not prioritize me or choose third parties or cheat on me. Why would I do that to myself? Guys, we're not willingly doing this to ourselves. We're unwillingly doing it subconsciously. That's why I'm called subconscious laws, because you guys don't realize what it is you're thinking. You don't understand what it is that's going on in here that's causing out here. So you keep blaming the other person and railing against the 3D and getting so upset with it. If only you would realize that if you change your thinking about yourself, created a new version of you, the new version of the 3D would be created, because the 3D is coming from the version of you that you now are. You understand? So it can only be different when you're different. The other person can't change until you do, because they're not changing, they're reflecting. They're not changing, they're reflecting. I'll say it for the 100th fucking time. They're not changing, they're reflecting. So if I ever put a clickbait thumbnail saying, change your specific person, you know I'm clickbaiting you guys, because you're not really changing them. You get that? So now you know that, and you know that you create your 3D, you can say, fuck the 3D, because it doesn't matter. So if someone's not prioritizing you at the moment, or broken up with you, or ghosted you, or blocked you, you can say to yourself, well, what was I thinking that caused that blocking? Or what was I assuming about that person that made them ghost me? Or what was I thinking about that person that made them so upset with me that we've broken up? Or what was I assuming about myself that made a third party come along? I need to work that out. And when I work that out and change it in my own mind, these circumstances, this 3D out here will change because it is simply a reflection of what I was originally thinking. Now, when I say originally thinking, a lot of people teach it like the 3D is catching up and it's delayed. It's not necessarily delayed, guys. I know that sounds like it's easier to swallow because you think, oh, I'm not still thinking what's happening out here. But unfortunately, you are still thinking it. It can only be as you are. So even though even Neville himself said a few times delayed, it's not necessarily delayed, guys. It's literally you are still thinking it and you're just not realizing it. So when the 3D is showing up unfavorably right now, you've got to realize you probably are still having unfavorable thoughts about whatever that is, that circumstance, whatever that person's doing, whatever has been done, whatever has been said, whatever action someone took. You are actually still in secret thinking things that are going against what you want. So you can say it's delayed all you like, but it's actually not. When you really are honest with yourself, you'll realize you're still thinking thoughts about them that are unfavorable. And when you get that, you'll realize saying it's delayed is a bit of a furphy. It's a bit of a way to get out of, oh, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, when really right now you are still thinking wrong. You understand? So the best way to say fuck the 3D is to realize I literally have caused this, whatever this is. Okay, now that I know that, now I can change it. Right? Like something was happening at my workplace today where some of my employees misunderstood an instruction I gave. It was very clear, but they're in the Philippines and maybe English is second language, they didn't understand me. When we got off the call, I said to my video editor, it's my fault because we've got two spreadsheets going on and it's confusing because they've got two spreadsheets. I don't know which one to choose. So it's my fault. So don't worry about it. It's not their fault. We'll sort it out next week. I had to accept the thing that had gone wrong of them stopping work on this thing that they thought I said don't work on anymore was purely because they didn't really understand the instruction, which came from me. And I'd confused them with two different spreadsheets and they didn't know which one to use. So it was all me. And so I can't blame them. So the end. You know what I mean? Like you've got to search and search and search and dig and think, what was I thinking that caused, oh yeah, I was thinking that spreadsheet thing is confusing. And I was thinking that. And I remember thinking a couple of weeks ago, we really should have a meeting about this. It's a bit confusing. Didn't have the meeting, then they're all confused. So if I think it's confusing, they're confused. Cause and effect. I can't get annoyed at them because I caused it. Are you understanding this? Therefore, those of you who have questions in the squad or questions in my free group asking me about circumstances constantly, the reason why the mentors eventually stop answering you, or the squaddies stop answering you about the same fucking circumstances every fucking week in the Q&A is because they keep telling you those circumstances were caused by you, therefore they don't matter. And then you ask about them again the next week and the next week and the next week. And you say, I understand circumstances don't matter, but. No, if you write but, you don't understand they don't matter because you just wrote but and then you thought this thing you wrote afterward matters. That's why you're writing it. Even writing the circumstance down means you think it matters. That's why you're telling us about it. If you didn't think it mattered, you wouldn't tell us. It literally is irrelevant. Like literally irrelevant to any information that we need to be able to solve your problem. However, you all continue to tell us what it is. Therefore, you must think it matters. Therefore, you don't know circumstances don't matter. There's no but. So ask yourself when you're writing a question in my Q&A forum in the squad, and I'll put it here when this is on YouTube. Have you written down circumstances? Does that mean you think it matters? Yes, it does. Are you getting that they don't really matter and you cause them? No, you don't. Are you understanding that all you need to do is think the opposite of what happened? Think the opposite of the thing that caused what happened? Don't think the things anymore that caused what happened? Oh, is that all, Loz? Is it that simple? Guys, this is fucking simple. And you guys complicate it with a whole lot of techniques and worries and doubts. And it's so fucking simple, like blows my mind. And that's why I keep saying, are you getting this yet? And when I say this, I mean the simplicity of this. Your I amness. Who are you being? Who you are being right now is causing what's happening right now. And if you don't change what you're being right now, what's happening right now will not change, even if you say you know that circumstances don't matter. Tell me in the comments if you've ever written, I know circumstances don't matter, but, or you keep writing said circumstances. Tell me, be honest. Because most of you will have to admit you still keep talking about them. You still keep thinking about them. You still keep ruminating about them. You still think they matter. You've got to start saying fuck the 3D because you caused it. Not because you're angry at it. Not because you're ignoring it. Because you accept that you caused it. Ignoring it won't do shit. You're still causing it whilst ignoring it. You're still placing attention upon it and keeping it alive in your awareness whilst ignoring it. You have to acknowledge something to ignore something. So simply by ignoring it, you're keeping it alive. You're meant to be thinking differently about it. Are you doing that? No, that's why you keep fucking asking about it. This will be a must-watch lesson for a lot of you. I hope you rewind and watch it back. Watch the replay. Just press that little button at the end of the YouTube and replay. Because some of you will think I'm blaming you. Others will think, but you didn't tell me what to do, Loz. I did. Listen harder and watch it again. And then tell me in the comments if you finally got it, what I'm saying that you have to do instead. What you have to accept and what you have to change. Did you hear what I said? Tell me in the comments. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that must-watch Loz lesson. Please suggest your next Loz lesson suggestion in the Subconscious Loz Squad. We will have a poll going out, or not a poll, a post going out every week now with a picture of me saying Loz lesson suggestions. So put them there in the squad and I will do them live here, either on YouTube or live on TikTok, and then they'll be on YouTube. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Come and join us in the squad. We've got really exciting things coming up. I took all your feedback from the free group, from the squad, those of you who are on our email list. I listened to you. I read all the feedback formulations at the end of all these pie charts and graphs telling us what you wanted. I read all your suggestions. There's a lot of fresh, new Lozisms, Loz lessons, Loz offerings to come. Get excited. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Make sure to subscribe. See ya.